Moin und herzlich willkommen zurück zu... Da. Warte mal, jetzt muss ich kurz schauen. Wir waren zuletzt mit der Tagesklinik beschäftigt. Zack. Partywagen. Verwaltungsbezirk. Wo waren wir denn? Wir waren über... Wundermittellauf navigieren.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
Ein wieder nervig. Nervig, diese Situation schon wieder zum Kotzen, wollte ich mir sagen, weil sie unnötig ist. So. Hey, wo willst du hin? Ich gehe Medizin von der Gesellschaft für Gesinnung kaufen.
Medicine? Oh, you mean Dr. Vash's wonder medicine, right? You're the same as everyone else that comes through here. If you want medicine, you don't need to go any further. You talk to me. And we only take cash. This ain't a charity. The Mutual Aid Society sets the price. It might be different from Dr. Vash and his handouts, but it's a darn sight cheaper than that clinic woman's medicine. Well, are you buying or not? Spit it out. I don't have time for chit-chat. Wait a minute. Your clothes. Are you friends with that doctor woman? I've seen you at the clinic before. I know it. Get lost. Now. If you're a friend of that woman, then you're not welcome here. Shop's closed today. No customers.
Wait. What about our medicine? We've been waiting for ages.
Get lost, all of you. Save your breath and come back some other time.
Another time.
That medicine seller sure closed up shop in a hurry.
Kommt der denn jetzt her? Kommt der denn jetzt her?
Reach the end of the story in your own way.
Strike the heart. Destined for oblivion.
No.
I'm fine.
Blade and flight.
Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
On the still waters of oblivion.
Stand down.
Rules are made to be broken. Keep at it.
Ich will kurz noch gucken, ob hier noch irgendwo Truhe ist. Scheint keine zu sein. Das ist so ein Smoker. Das ist noch eine Blume. Wo soll ich denn eigentlich hin?
It's still early. Where to now?
I wish you all a journey that is free of illness.
So the Mutual Aid Society found Vash's research results, and now they're selling this so-called wonder medicine to patients? Any organization doing something like this is interested in more than just mutual aid.
Ja. Die Die Patienten baten mich, dass ich das vor dir geheim halte. Der Patient sagte, dass es bereit war,
As a
das
doctor,
Risiko
I don't
anzugehen.
accept that. I'm responsible for their well-being. My attitude towards this wonder medicine won't change. What Vash left behind is nothing more than reagents and experimental byproducts. The word medicine doesn't apply here. I warned the patients countless times, but seems like they had their heads in the sand all along. No wonder they kept the Mutual Aid Society a secret from me. I'm guessing the patients you met weren't exactly singing my praises, which is why you tracked the dealer down and made inquiries first. I don't blame you. After everything you heard, I'm grateful you came back to find me. Your trust is important to me. If you're curious about Vash's wonder medicine, you should ask some of the patients in the clinic. See what they have to say about the effects.
Some people say that Dr. Vash was a saint who came from the overworld to help those in need. I don't buy it. People's doctor, that's just what people who've bought into the myth like to say. Vash used to distribute free medicine all the time, but he couldn't have cared less about the people taking the medicine. The hard truth is that we were just his test subjects. It didn't matter if the medicine worked or not. What mattered was having a constant stream of willing lab rats. Of course, I can't control what anyone else thinks. That's just how I see it.
The medicine Vash left behind? That stuff. Can you even call it medicine? I know Dr. Natasha's here, but I have to tell it like it is. Vash had zero medical ethics. He didn't deserve the title doctor. He may have had the capability, but he didn't use it to help anyone. Whenever I went to see him, he never even asked about my illness. He just prescribed me his so-called wonder medicine. If it were you, would you have taken that medicine?
Ich habe die Medizin nicht eingenommen, ne?
Keep at it.
Oh, scheiße.
Well, are you hurt? Let me take a look.
Take a look. Was kann nicht funktioniert das denn? Das Blöde ist halt dadurch nur, dass mein Mikro extrem im Licht ist.
Still haven't worked out how to convey it to you. The issues surrounding Vash. My relationship with him. Things he's done in the underworld. It's a long story. I'm guessing you've heard a lot of different opinions on Vash. What do you make of him? I want you to go and visit another patient, a victim of the wonder medicine. I want you to see the real consequences of abusing that medicine. Once you've understood her situation, come back and tell me what you think. After that, I want to ask for your help again.
Schon wieder. Okay. Oh, das hat gerade weh getan. Einsame Frau. So dem Ursprung der Medikamente.
Who are you? Who? And who am I?
Aua. Das ist auch nicht vorgestellt, dass er...
Where's my husband? And Where's my child?
Das hat jetzt natürlich nicht meine Frage beantwortet.
You know where they are, right? You don't know. They don't know. Nobody knows. Where? Where did they go?
Come over here, child. It's best to leave that poor lady in peace. Let me explain. That poor lady. Both her husband and child became ill and passed away.
Hasta la vista. Sie müssen sehr krank gewesen sein.
Well, not terribly serious, but they needed to get treatment every now and then, which did impact their livelihood. In order to try and rid themselves of the ailment once and for all, they bought some kind of wonder medicine. Who would have thought their condition would deteriorate so rapidly after they began using it?
Ich überlege gerade, meine Lampe wieder drin hinzustellen, ob das sinnvoll ist. Wahrscheinlich schon.
Such that death
Machen wir
became
mal
a
anders.
blessing. It wasn't long before they departed this
Wenn ich
world,
Lust dazu
one
habe,
after the
tatsächlich.
other. From that moment on, oh, she became as you see her now. If Dr. Natasha hadn't taken her under her wing, well, it doesn't bear thinking about.
Das hört sich ganz nach einem Gift an. Sie haben Pech gehabt.
And yet, what more could have
Hört sich
been
nach einem
done?
Gift an.
They were warned about the medicine. They were told about the risks. But they chose to roll the dice.
Ich muss meinen...
Talking about it tires me out. At least my husband and I are able to help her where we can.
Was ist los, Schatz?
I just hope that one day she can lead a normal life again.
Willst du drüber reden?
Well, are you hurt? Let me
Hat sich
take
die
a look.
Frau gemeldet? Wenn sie sich bis jetzt nicht gemeldet hat, wird sie es nicht mehr tun.
Did you speak to her? By the look on your face, I'm assuming you've come to understand the wonder medicine all too well. Yeah. Be it Vash or the Mutual Aid Society, forces like that can take full advantage of the typical underworld state of mind.
Ja.
Let me tell you a story. There was once a brilliant overworld doctor with unmatched pharmaceutical skill. The doctor was set on developing a medicine that would steel the human body against the cold. He named his research project Blizzard Immunity. But his research met with obstruction time and time again. The
Ich
biggest
glaube, das ist
factor
das
being the
wenigere
lack
Übel,
of
dass du
test
ein Jahr
subjects.
hochgehst.
Tampering with the human immune system carries huge risk, and nobody in the overworld was willing to submit themselves. As such, the doctor got in touch with his sister in the underworld, claiming that he wanted to support the medical effort. Naturally, his sister
Ja.
was overjoyed. After
Das ist doch
all,
eine
as
gute
far as
Idee.
medicine was concerned, her brother had always been
Also ein
the
Versuch ist
standard
auf jeden
she
Fall
had
wert.
strived to attain. She brought her brother underground and entrusted him with her clinic and laboratory. I think you know what comes next.
Ja, aber solange es noch reparierbar ist. Das stimmt schon.
Issuing free medicine to the needy was just Vash's way of conducting
Das
experiments.
Wichtigste ist, dass dir nichts passiert ist.
On some level, his reagents were able to alleviate the patient's suffering, but nothing more. They would forget their pain for a while and neglect their regular treatment plans. The result? Patients with mild illness would attribute their recovery to the so-called wonder medicine, while patients with serious illness would quickly deteriorate, and sometimes die. I cannot accept that their fate was simply the result of misfortune or risk. No true doctor would accept that. That's why I want you to help me recover all the wonder medicine.
Hast du denn schon was
Are
gegessen?
you willing to take on this assignment?
Nein.
Thank you. This will be hard for the people that have come
Ja,
to
was
rely on
gab's
the
denn?
wonder
Keine
medicine.
Ahnung mehr.
But it's up to us to remove this false hope. You mustn't hesitate.
Kartoffeln
Recover
mit
every last reagent that Vash left behind. I'll take responsibility
Kraut
for the
und
consequences.
Fleisch
Don't worry about that.
oder so.
Go. I'll be waiting for the good news.
Stop right there. No one's allowed up ahead. Who are you trying to kid? You're that clinic woman's lackey. Did you think the Mutual Aid Society didn't have its own intel? She's after our medicine and sent you here to smash the place, right? Men, look lively and send this idiot packing already.
Time for swordplay. Strike with heart. Swords descend.
Still waters of oblivion.
Blade and flight.
Reach the end of the story in your own way.
Well, look who we have here. Your
Hast
reputation
du noch
precedes
krank
you,
geschrieben,
outsider.
Mann?
I didn't take you for a bandit and a thief.
Ach so, stimmt.
You listen here. I'm the president of the Complex Illness Mutual Aid Society. The medicine we hold here is lifeblood for many of our members. Are you sure you want to deprive them of that? Those poor patients. Along comes a life-saving wonder medicine only to be snatched away by a shameless bandit like you. The underworld is full of sickness. What would happen if my Mutual Aid Society has relieved that doctor of patients at the end of the road? Seems like you are quite bent. Fine, seeing as you came all this way, it'd be rude not to give you... Men, seize the medicine thief!
How many can you block? Strike with heart.
Destined for oblivion.
Rules are made to be broken.
Schreib's mit Luisa.
Again.
Blade and flight.
Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
Strike with heart. Swords descend.
Blast it! What did we ever do to you? Why are you taking away our moneymaker?
Moneymaker? So you admit it then? You're not in this to save lives, you're in it to get rich.
What are you doing here? Oh, as if we didn't have enough trouble already.
Selling fake medicine with false kindness. You should have expected trouble to find you sooner or later. I have a responsibility to protect the well-being of my patients. Or to put it another way, I must eradicate any and all threats to them.
You can't save everyone. The underworld is teeming with sickness. How could you possibly pull it off?
You're right. I can't save everyone alone. But if I must, I would sacrifice food and sleep to treat them. The debt that Vash owes to the underworld rests with me. All I can do is help everyone to the best of my ability. To the very end.
So stubborn. In that sense, you're no different from your crazy brother.
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. Your actions today have saved many underworld families. I'll find a way to dispose of Vash's leftover reagents. Next time the Mutual Aid Society wants to whip up a quack cure, they'll be out of luck. Let's go back to town. I still owe those patients an explanation.
Das würde jeder an einer Stelle tun.
It's still early. Where to now?
Zumindest ich jetzt genauso gemacht wie du.
Uh-oh. It looks like the patients have surrounded Natasha. Let's hear what they're saying.
What are you saying, Doctor? The wonder medicine is out of supply?
Correct. That medicine is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Wildfire has cut off the supply chain. Your ailments need rational, scientific treatment. Relying on pseudo-medicines will only worsen your condition.
Rational and scientific, huh? The way I see it, you're just jealous you lost your patients.
How dare you speak to Dr. Natasha like that? Where are your manners?
Man, please, think for a moment. How can you still be siding with her? That wonder medicine was working fine for us, and now it's gone because she wants it to be? How can she?
I understand your anger, but as your doctor, I ask you to trust my judgment. I will find a way to access more medical resources and help you through your struggles. If I must, I'll get help from the surface.
The surface. I almost forgot that you were an overworld big shot.
Have some respect for Dr. Natasha.
If it's respect she wants, she better find a replacement for the wonder medicine fast. If not, I'll tell everyone about how she set up Dr. Vash. I'm out of here.
Are you hurt? Let me take a look.
Oh, you're here. I apologize. That must have made for uncomfortable viewing. I'm okay. If I were in his shoes, I may well have had the same reaction. Now I need to focus on treating the patients and dispelling their doubts. Let's leave it for now. I'll feel a lot better once I've gotten rid of this mess that Vash left us. Now's as good a time as any to tell you Vash's whole story. If there's anything you want to know, don't hesitate to ask. That's a long story. Ever since he was little, Vash had always wanted to develop a medicine called blizzard immunity. He saw the human body's vulnerability to cold as a disease, and wanted to cure it so that humanity could survive the eternal freeze. If he succeeded, people would be able to leave Belobog and rebuild their homes in the snow plains. To be honest, I never understood how he'd achieve that blizzard immunity. But I do admire that vision and perseverance. I always chose to believe him, ever since I was a kid. I knew his research in the overworld wasn't going well. I used to write to him and ask him to come down and stay with the kids in the orphanage for a while. I thought it might help take his mind off his research. But I was too young to know what long-term frustration could do to a person. It changed. During his stay in the underworld, he met patients affected by fragmentum corrosion with mild symptoms. Compared with non-patients, he began to simulate mild fragmentum corrosion, thinking that it could... Those reagents of his aren't cure-alls for critical illness. That doesn't exist. Vash made the reagents to mitigate the suffering of his patients in the short term. A convenient way for him to observe changes in his test subjects. But behind my back, he had been doling out the reagents to residents who were kept in the dark. When it finally struck me that something was wrong, his terrible research had already turned him into a madman. Indeed. And it all happened under my nose. How ridiculous. My judgment was when his experiments were exposed. I spent a long time with Oleg discussing... This was shortly before the underworld was sealed off. There were hardly any Silvermane guards remaining. In the end, Oleg suggested that we banish him and permanently deny him access to the underworld. Had his victims found out the truth, Vash would have been torn to pieces by furious underworlders. I was young and weak at the time. Oleg must have worried about how I'd react to such a scenario, or he wouldn't have suggested banishment. I hope so. The day I learned the truth was the day I no longer recognized my brother. Oleg and I took Vash to the overworld. He made his final request to us. To take him outside the city to the snow plains he'd always wanted to conquer. His figure gradually disappeared into the snow curtain. I've been telling myself that Vash is dead ever since. Forgive me. I'm not good at telling stories. Vash was a terrible brother and a worse doctor. That's all you need to know. Let's call it a day. Thank you for cleaning up the mess my brother left behind. Here, for your trouble.
visitor. Please let me show you some of our local hospitality.
It's still early. Where to now? Keep at it.